Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So today's title is Frugality is neither rich nor poor. The reason I'm talking about this subject today is because we've been going through some of the comments we've had on posts for the last few months. And as many of you know, we haven't actively been making videos for the last couple of months. We're just getting back to making new videos again. Excuse me. And we've been going over some of the comments that have been left for us. And a few people have said, well, you're not poor and you're not frugal because you've had 2 holidays and you're making lots of home improvements, etc. And it made me laugh, really. So I haven't replied to the comments. My husband and I sat here for quite a while, and off and on we've had a few conversations about it. And I say, frugality does not mean you can't go on holiday. Frugality does not mean you can't have home improvements. Frugality doesn't actually have anything to do with those things that we happen to have. So if you've followed this channel for a while, we've actually been doing Wallflowers UK for over 5 years now. And it's a completely frugal channel. Everything we've done from the beginning up to today is frugality. Now, just over 6 months ago, my husband and I decided to withdraw some money from his pension. He's very fortunate to have a really good pension, and he's always been a hard-working man. He's always worked hard, put into his pension. We decided it was time that the pension worked for us. So he did what was called a drawdown. And out of that drawdown, we planned previously, before he took it, that the kitchen needed improving and the windows and doors needed replacing. And we've lived in this house coming up to 22 years now. And we'd never replaced the kitchen. When we first moved in, the kitchen wasn't to our taste. So we left the carcasses of the original kitchen, and we actually just bought door fronts and drawer covers, which was the cheapest option at the time. And we made do amends. For plenty of years it looked good the way it was with the new door covers and drawer covers. And then eventually later on, I mean, bearing in mind we've raised 2 children in this house, we've cooked every single day because we cook everything from scratch. And there's a lot of activity taking place in that kitchen. So the kitchen itself actually took quite a battering over 22 years. So I think it's a little over 4.5, 5 years ago, I decided to paint the kitchen that we had, the door cupboards and drawers, because again, being so frugal, we weren't going to go to the full expense of replacing the kitchen at that time. And to tell you the truth, we probably didn't even have the finances to do that. So I painted it. That probably lasts 3 to 5 years, and I painted it again a different colour. And over the years, I painted it layer of different colours, and we made do amends. But towards the end, the wear and tear was so obvious that we really did need a new kitchen. And we persevered again for another 2 years, 18 months, and the doors were near enough hanging off, and we persevered. So when we decided to take a drawdown from my husband's pension, the kitchen was at the top of the list. And we're thrilled with it. We're absolutely thrilled with it. And it's a total investment. And hopefully we get 20 years or so out of that kitchen. Pure investment. And as we're getting older, we'll appreciate that. It's safe. The doors aren't dropping off. And it's a really comfortable environment for us now. And the same with the windows and doors. Every year I put bubble wrap on the glass windows to prevent the draft coming in. I closed the curtains when the sun wasn't shining. And I went to the extreme of making sure that we could try and keep warm because we couldn't replace the windows. And it was really bad. If it rained, we had to put pans across the window ledge. And it was a priority again with that cash to replace the windows and the doors. So we did that. And I don't know, long-term viewers may remember someone tried to gain entrance to the house by drilling the back door one early morning at 1 a.m. And I was never fully comfortable with the security of that door ever since. That was just a little over 12 months ago, I think.
2 years.
Was it 2 years ago? So part of the investment of getting the windows and doors done was the added security, that they were safe, solid doors. So yeah, and on top of that, we decided to have 2 holidays. This was all from my husband's pension, which we wouldn't have been able to afford without. So we decided one of the holidays would be a family holiday and we'd take the boys with us. So the 4 of us went to Bulgaria for a week. And the second holiday would just be the 2 of us. And we went to Pompeii in Italy just for 3 days. Prior to that, we hadn't had a holiday away like that for 14 years. So it was well overdue. Let me just have a sip of my coffee because my voice is really hoarse. So prior to that, we hadn't had a holiday for 14 years. So we were due a holiday. I think we thoroughly deserved it. But all of that, the 2 holidays, the home improvements, everything was out the pension money and nothing to do with any savings or splashing or taking, paying for it on the never, you know. And none of that. It was all cash, it was all paid for, and it was out my husband's pension, so we didn't feel it. Other than that, we've been very frugal for the whole length of our marriage and before we actually got married. So I'd say 27, 28 years we've been completely frugal, and we've always tightened our belts. Now, if you've seen my shopping haul videos, you will know on average, generally, I near enough save £100, sometimes more a week. This week it was only £36, I think I saved yesterday. But generally it's around the £100 mark. Now, if you times that by 4, it's £400, times that by 12, it's just a touch under £5,000 a year. Now, to save £5,000 a year on shopping is as frugal as I couldn't imagine anyone being any more frugal than that. On top of that, we forage, we buy in bulk, so we make our own jams, we make our own meals to go in the freezer, we're exceedingly careful. And we've done that throughout the marriage. We've completely and utterly done that. But at the same time, frugality does not mean you go without. You know, the reason you save in one area is to make sure that you can afford to spend in another area. So, although I'll go to a charity shop or a thrift shop and I might buy myself a new top or I might buy something for the men, I have no problem with going and buying a top or clothing from a shop. If I like it and I need it, if I want new pyjamas, I'll go to a shop and buy new pyjamas. If it's a top or a pair of trousers I'm looking for, I'll look in the charity shop first. If I can't find anything that way, I have no problem with going and buying it new. Or something I deserve a treat, I'd have no problem with spending money for a treat, whether it's going out for a meal, etc. But it's not something we do every week. it's few and far between. We'll always cook from scratch, we'll always eat from home, we'll always eke out what we've got, we'll finish what we've got in the fridge before we bring anything new out the freezer. You know, we'll always be frugal. It's just sometimes you do get a windfall and it enables you to do better things. We're getting older now, we're just approaching our 60s, and we need to make the home a more comfortable environment to grow with us as we grow older. So, as I say, raising 2 children and not really buying anything new, furniture-wise, anything at all, for 20 odd years, the home was showing it. We did really need to start replacing things. So, on the frugality side of being able to create some savings, because we weren't out gallivanting, we don't go drinking in pubs, we don't have regular weekly treats, we're not members of gyms, we're not paying regular subscriptions for anything. So we managed to accrue a little savings. So 2 years ago I invested in the wood burner, which was very expensive for us. £2,000 at the time was an awful lot of money for us. But again, it's absolutely saved us a fortune during the winter because we can go and get wood for free, break it down, any paper waste within the house, inside of toilet rolls, any food packaging, anything like that, so long as it's paper or cardboard, can go in the fire. And it's saved us an absolute fortune. We're not dependent upon the gas heating and paying the horrific prices for that. So, as I say, accrued enough savings for us to replace the 3-piece suite. So the suite I'm sitting on now is really comfortable. It's fully padded, it's brand new. Hopefully we get 20 years out of it, who knows. The footrests absolutely raise up so we can lie down fully, and it's pure comfort for us as we're getting older. Things in the kitchen, a brand new fridge freezer, a brand new washing machine, things we've needed to replace because they've broken, dilapidated or aged, and now they're set up again. Hopefully we get a good fair few years out of them. Probably not 20 years in this day and age with electrical goods, but hey, we'll see how far it takes us, and we're happy with what we've got. But if we hadn't been so frugal, we wouldn't be able to replace at this stage, or we would have missed out on those holidays because we would have had to replace home items, if that makes sense. But the frugality pays for what I'm classing as home improvements now. So Mr. Wallflowers is due another drawdown soon from his pension that we can have. We're deciding to have the bathroom fitted out, because of my spine and different things. We're deciding to take the bath out and put a shower in, so I've got much more access without having to ask for help or, you know, a bit of dignity. I can just take myself straight in the shower, have it all fitted out, and it'll be pleasant and it's ready for my old age, and we're really happy with that. Again, that's not out of savings, that's not us going without, that'll be the pension that pays for that. When we have that done, I'll bring you a video about it because we're really excited about having that done. Things that we are paying for out of the savings because of the frugal life is the garden, and we're just in a process now of making a video to bring to you. So it's things like paint we've bought, plants for the garden, planters for the garden, a pergola for the garden, and at the moment we're looking for a water feature and a statue. And there's some big changes ready to take place in the garden at the moment, but the savings are paying for that, and it works out quite expensive at the end of the day. Anyone putting loads of new plants in the garden will know it's really expensive, especially at the moment we're having to buy them from garden centres, but we are looking for clearance prices, and as cheaply and as frugal as we can do that. I've brought videos over the years making laundry detergent from Ivy, and that's something we still do from time to time. We don't do it all the time because I'm able to buy discounted laundry detergent, and as a family we like the smell of it, so we use that on a regular basis. But in between I do still make the Ivy laundry detergent, and it costs nothing. We do look for bulk buys, so if I can buy trays of fruit and make our own jams, make fruit pies, etc., I'll do that. I was given 3 pairs last year, was it? And they were quite mushy and the shop couldn't sell them, and I brought them home and made lots of pear jam from that. It was delicious, and everyone who I gave a jar to came back and wanted more, which is a good sign, you know. But yeah, we're at that stage in life where it's not costing us from savings to live the quality of life we're living, and life is slightly getting better for us. I know we're living in a harsh climate, and food prices, utility prices, and everything is rising through the roof, and we're feeling the pinch of that. But with what we manage to save, we're trying to make the improvements in the home and in the garden. So if we are homebound and not travelling out, we've got enough to sustain our interest here and our happiness here, because the home is comfortable. The garden will be a delight to be in. As I say, frugality is not about not spending. It's not about not being happy and having comfortable things around you. It's saving where you can. It's looking for the best offer. It's making sure it's an affordable point. Don't spend what you haven't got, and always keep a little back. To me, that's what frugality means. It doesn't mean go without. I'm not going to go without something if I've got the money there. I'm not just going to buy the cheapest, nastiest toilet paper when the next one up is only pennies more, you know? It's not about being harsh to yourself. It's be comfortable, but look after the pennies, and the pounds will look after themselves. My negotiating skills are getting better over the years, looking for discounts, negotiating better prices in stores. I've done it for many years, and I will always continue to do it. I'm probably rolling on a bit now, but I just wanted to cover those aspects where people say, oh, you seem to have a lot of money lately. My husband's pension covered those treats, and our frugality covers the basics, and our lifestyle is improved because of both of those things. But always remember, frugality is neither rich or poor. Okay, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for joining me. Please take care. Remember you're loved, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.